Journalists hang out on Sunday. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Today on the program, Defense Headquarters confirms killing of 14 soldiers in Bomadi area of Delta State. A search for others continues. Businesses suffocating from fuel, energy costs shooting skywards as inflation rises to 31.70%. And later on the show, President Tinubu sends fresh student loan bill to the House of Representatives. Today, I will be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Adewale Adewale. Gentlemen, good afternoon to you. Happy Sunday and welcome to the program.
Happy Sunday to our viewers.
Right. So, Journalist Hangout starts now. Thank you for staying with us. As economic hardship occasioned by removal of petrol subsidy bites harder, governments at various levels have been launching different palliative measures to cushion impact on citizens. Kwara State, North Central Nigeria, has been intensifying these efforts. The state government has rolled out various palliative measures with the distribution of 50,000 cartons of noodles to undergraduate students in public and private tertiary institutions in the state as the latest effort. The State Commissioner for Youth Development said this gesture is in addition to previous and ongoing interventions and programs by the government to bring succour to people of the state. Let's share the story by TVC News, Ibrahim Alege, with you.
The removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his inauguration in May last year has no doubt impacted on the nation's economy. The recent economic challenge has equally had significant impact on individuals. This has made governments to come up with different palliative measures to cushion the effects of these challenges. The latest in Kwara State is the distribution of 50,000 cartons of noodles to support undergraduates across state, federal and private higher institutions in the state. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak said this is part of the various initiatives to bring succour to the students. Represented by the Commissioner for Youth Development, Nafisat Buge, the governor said that the gesture is in addition to the previous and ongoing interventions, policy directions and programs to bring ease to the people.
As we distribute this food palliative, let us remember the importance of solidarity and compassion, especially during this holy month of Ramadan. Let us continue to work together towards building a brighter future for our students and our state. We also invite you to join the government advocacy against drug abuse under whatever guise.
Your recent achievements in the student community, such as the disbursement of student bursaries, the provision of palliative buses, and also today the disbursement of this food palliative to students, has shown your support to the student community.
Other students' intervention include free transport service for undergraduates and payment of 10,000 naira palliative to students of Kwara State origin in higher institutions across the country.
I was in the bus stop there, so waiting for motor. So the realized my dear asked to direct me here. There is a free bus. I say free bus. So Uniloni say yes. I say I'm very happy. So I'm very grateful to the governor who has done this.
The help comes in handy for us because this place is always messy. Yeah, for us to see solidarity here, and it's even free. So we thank the government.
Before these students' interventions, the state government had initially spent 5.7 billion naira to support 124,170 households in the wake of the fuel subsidy removal in 2023. 250,000 bags of 10 kilograms of rice were then distributed across all the 193 wards in the state. Another 50,000 bags of 50 kilograms of maize were equally subsidized for poultry farmers and other end users.
The first one was actually sold at 8,000 naira for 50 kg bag of maize to the farmers, while it was being sold at around 26 to 28,000 naira at the market. Then the second phase was sold for 10,000 naira.
Government will continue to engage in such efforts. As we see prices going up again, we'll deepen our efforts and implore other governments to set up committees as yours, and where government would not interfere in how the committee does its work.
Another 2 billion naira worth of rice was again distributed to various groups, including labor, religious organizations, and community-based organizations this February. Apart from food items, the Kwara State government pioneered wage award of 10,000 naira to each worker in July 2023. This amounts to about 1 billion naira monthly. It also committed over 1 billion naira to again offset salary arrears owed by the previous administration. To further provide succour, the Kwara State Social Investment Program (KWASIP) empowered 8,000 unemployed youths and women under its public workfare scheme. It equally supported 368 small and medium-scale enterprises and 20 groups receiving between 250,000 naira and 3 million naira to support their businesses. On the agricultural front, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak chairs the steering committee for the implementation of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone, a multi-billion-dollar project to boost food and nutritional security. He also chairs a multi-sectoral state working committee on food security with the major aim of ensuring that people have access to affordable food. This is apart from the training and presentation of inputs to farmers to encourage farming. All these efforts are meant to cushion the effects of the current economic challenge, and the results are gradually becoming obvious with the reduction in the prices of staple food items in the state. Ibrahim Alige, TVC News, Ilorin.
Right, gentlemen, looks like state governors are waking up to their responsibilities for citizens in this very difficult time.
Yes, we challenge them to ease the pains that our people are going through, and we are seeing signs that some of them are beginning to do it. Pictures don't lie. As you can see, Governor Abdulrazak has really been taking some steps, and you know, he's the sort of governor who doesn't like media attention. He tries his best to avoid media attention. He goes to the airport, most times unaccompanied. He will carry his bag by and say, you won't even know. I was a witness to that a little under 2 weeks ago at the domestic terminal 1 here. He just walked up to me, shook my hands and said, Jide Orowa. I didn't know who it was that was speaking to me because he had this black mask covering his nose, covering his mouth, so I couldn't recognize him. In any case, I hadn't met him one-to-one, you know, to be very familiar with his body structure and all that. So I took the card. I didn't look at it. I just dropped it in my pocket. I thought it was just one of those journalists and Govt fans. After a while, I looked at it, and I saw that it was the Kwara governor. And the queue was long, yet he stayed in the queue. I saw young people shunting, you know, impatient to stay on the queue for long. But this governor just stood there looking at his phone. So at that point, I knew it would be wrong to go back to him and greet him properly because I saw that he didn't want attention, you know. So, and you can see some of the steps that he has taken. He's not making any noise about it. Kwara State was the first to introduce the cash awards, you know. So it's credit to this governor for even thinking of a cash award to cushion the effect of removal of subsidy. And the president has asked that other governors should do the same thing and sustain it until a new minimum wage kicks in. Apart from that, he has also spent about 5.7 billion to distribute rice to 124,170 households in the 193 wards of Kwara State. Then 50,000 bags of 50 kg maize was released by him to poultry farmers, because today the poultry industry is dying. And Nigeria used to be the hub of poultry business in West Africa, especially Ibadan. But today the poultry business is dying. Many of them have left the business because they cannot cope with the rising cost of feed. Eggs are very costly now. Very costly, because today is about 17,000 naira for a bag of what was it called? Layers mash. 17,000 for a bag of layers mash, depending on where you are buying from. So how does people make money when things are this expensive? So you can see when he released grains to those poultry farmers, it inevitably brought down the price of maize in the market. So we are seeing little improvement here and there. Yes, our people may not get all of what they want, but Governor Abdulrazak has shown the way. He has shown that, look, government can do little things. These children, these students, there's no way that they won't be happy with these cartons of noodles that have been released to them.
You can see them praising the governor.
And it's not even for students of public tertiary institutions alone, not students of Kwara State owned tertiary institutions alone. Others will also benefit. So we want to see governors led by Governor Abdulrazak continue to do this. Other governors can think of something else that they can do. Ideas are there for people to explore. So we commend him for what he has done, and we will remind him that, look, he shouldn't stop here. He can still do more.
All right, Adewale, this is the governor prioritizing student welfare, from disbursement of bursaries and provision of palliative buses, and some of the big you had talked about.
Yeah, I think the governor of Kwara State, like Babajide rightly put it, he has created a paradigm shift from tokenism to real constructive engagement of the social layers of people in Kwara State. In the past, we used to have a governor that would just invite people to his house during Ramadan or Salah, and then reboot, and then the whole TV will be reporting. But for the first time, we're having a governor that, apart from what we are mentioning, the 16 local government, there is no local government to go in Kwara State that don't feel its impact. You know, Kwara State is one of the few states that started the Education Trust Fund, then the Social Insurance Policy, then the Kwara State Resident Registration Agency. That if you're in Kwara State, they want to know, because that is the basis of, you have data on who are who, and you don't have to wait for national census. You must have data so that it will help you to plan. And also Kwara has the Health Insurance Agency. You know, these are institutional reforms that are enduring legacies, that you can say this is real development, not just things you can do and then, you know, after you leave the place, nobody is going to continue. So I'm really happy about what is going on there, because these palliatives we are talking about, just like Agile, it's not just for institutions owned by the state alone, private institutions, federal government institutions, and then those owned by the state government. And the state government also says something that is very impressive, that this is not a permanent solution, you know, that they have medium-term and long-term plans, which involves investment in agriculture, you know. And I think to even state that, to even mention that, shows that the government knows what it's doing. So I think I'm glad that we are seeing changes, you know, from a government built around individuals to a government that is built around the people. And if you go to Kwara today, talk to people on the street, they will tell you that, look, there is a paradigm shift from the past.
And it's also interesting to see that the government had set up a monitoring team,
yes,
to see to the full implementation of all of the palliatives.
And they are not being handled by politicians. You know, when you go directly to students, those students belong to different political parties. Some are not even in any political party. Some are not even interested in the policy. So it's the most strategic way to get palliatives to the people, not just, you know, political elements. You know.
All right, gentlemen, let's come back to Lagos. And that's saying like Kwara, like Lagos.